Okay, Romaine, we're going to look at your blocks here. We're going to start with your start position, move to your set position, and then take a look at what your drive looks like out of the blocks. So let's zoom in here on the left side, and something that I kind of want to point out here right off the bat is that your front pedal leg might be too close, meaning or too far forward, meaning your front pedal might need to move back one or a notch or two. And the reason I say that is because you can kind of see right there your knee poking past your arm, which is usually an indicator that you're a little too crunched up in the blocks. So you might want to consider moving that pedal back. Let's see, it seems that your head is neutral with your spine, so that's a good thing. I'd say you might have a little bit of a downward point with your shin, whereas you want it to be completely parallel with the ground. So you might want to, adjust that, or with moving your pedal back, maybe that will fix itself. I like that your hands are up in a bridge. That's a good thing as well. And your shoulders are over top of your hands. Okay, so you have some good things going there in your start position, and just one little minor thing that I would change. So let's move to your set position. And you'll see on the right-hand screen that it's just a front view, which we'll talk about something here in a minute on what I saw from that view. But okay, so up in your set position, okay, let's see, immediately, I'm going to say again that I think you have to move that pedal back, and the reason being is because your knee is still really close to your arm there, and usually once you get up into the set position, you see some separation between your arm and that front knee, so you definitely want to move that pedal back. You want to make sure that your feet are locked in with the pedals, which you appear to be doing. Having them pressed up against the pedals is very important to get your maximum drive and push out of the blocks. The only thing, actually, now that when I look closer and I fast forward, it almost seems like maybe your foot wasn't in contact with the back pedal completely. I'm not really sure, I can't tell from this angle, but if it wasn't, just make sure your feet are in complete contact with the pedals before you push out of the blocks. So now what I want to do is kind of look at your drive out of the blocks. Well, actually, one more thing. Let's look at your angles here. So let's zoom in. Now, if I go from your hips, and then through your foot, I should get about a 90-degree angle, and you're at about 94, which is good. And I think if you move that pedal back, you'll get yourself down to about a 94, 93-degree angle, which is fine. 90 degrees is ideal. As long as you're close to it, you're good to go. And then the angle back here should be a little bit greater than 90 degrees, okay, which it is. So also just keep in mind that when you do move this pedal back, you might have to move that one back as well, because you kind of want a little bit of separation between the two pedals. Just keep that in the back of your head. But anyway, so back to your drive. Okay, so let's fast forward, look at your initial push out of the blocks. Okay, this is you at full extension, okay? Now, what I absolutely love here is look how high both your feet are off the ground. You get completely displaced in the air, which is a strong sign to me that you have a really good push out of the blocks and that you're actually using both legs properly, okay? Usually what happens is people will push harder with the front pedal than they will the back pedal. And what happens because of that is they tend to put this foot down quicker, and they never get fully displaced in the air, and that's kind of what causes them to stand up too quick. But you do a really good job of displacing yourself in the air. Although, I do have a problem with the way your arms angulate, okay? You have to remember that your legs and arms angulate together. So if you're doing it incorrectly with your arms, you're going to have some misfortunes with the way your legs are driving out of the blocks, okay? So right here, what do we see with this elbow? first of all, why do we even see the elbow like that? Okay, so I want you to look over onto the right hand screen, and I want you to compare yourself, ironically, to your brother. Okay, look at how his arm is forward, but look at the angle of your elbow there. Look at your elbow flexion. It's pointed out almost like a chicken. And you don't want it to look like that, okay? You're driving forward, okay? So all of your energy has to be going like this. It can't be coming off to the sides, okay? So you want to be careful with that, because that might cause you to have some lateral deviation with your feet, okay? If your arms and elbows are pulling you out from side to side, your legs will do the same thing. So you just kind of want to be careful of that when you're driving out of the blocks. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. We're going to look at your next couple strides. I think you've got a great stride and a great push with your legs. I just would like some things to be a little bit more technically sound. Okay? And you don't run like that with your elbow flexion like that the whole time. You just kind of do it with your initial push. And then you start to straighten out. Okay? But if I'm going to be nitpicky, I'm going to be nitpicky. Okay, so we're going to zoom out a little bit more and watch everything in slow motion. Okay, and if I rewind, I want you to watch on the right-hand side from the front view, your left foot. Boom. It hits on the outside. You see that lateral deviation? Okay, that's probably because of your elbow flexion from before. And then we start to straighten out. Every little bit counts when you're talking about sprints. So that's all I have for you. If you have any questions, you know how to reach me. My cell phone number is 715-619-0150.